Hello viewers, welcome to 90 Days Excel Skills Challenge. Congratulations for finishing day 1. Today we are moving on with day 2. So you are all welcome back to day 2. And yesterday we looked at the big picture of Excel interface. Today we are getting into the GPS of Excel. If you can't find a cell, what it means is that you can also not build a formula. So by the end of this 10-minute video, you would know exactly how to organize data so Excel can read it for you. So we are going to continue with the lessons that we started by looking at some technologies associated with identifying the cells that we work with in Excel so that you can really be able to organize your interface. So as we zoom quickly to the table, let's look at what the Excel interface look like. So the day 1, we actually saw the Excel interface as grid lines with columns and rows. So we are going to delve deeper into what the columns are, how we can increase the columns, how we can expand it and all that to do the work. So we created day 1, we created pages and others. So let's look at what is the columns. So we actually look at what a column is in day 1, and then we said we have columns which are the vertical grid lines. So A is a column, B is a column, C is a column, and we have many of these columns. We also said the row 1, row 2, they are all rows, and we concluded by saying that where row meets the column, we call it Excel. So Excel is simply the intersection of row 1. So we can have cell A1, A2, A1, B1, C1, D1, and all of them are row. So let's build our first table header in understanding these cells. So the first one we do is that let's go to A1. We go to A1 and then we type students in A1. Then we go to B1 and type program. And then we go to C1 and type fees. So let's just say that we are creating a template. We are going to use these ones to understand how the columns and the rows actually work. So if you look at this column that we have created, we have used 3 columns over here. And then we can just remember that, oh, okay, once we put a student, we did not define whether it's a student ID or a student name. So we can come back and say that, okay, so this part is called student ID. So we can edit it. If we have the student ID, then we can now say that let's insert. So we can actually insert a column and also delete a column. So you can insert a column, you select. If I want to insert a column between A and B, I will click the B, select the entire column B. When you put your cursor on it, the arrow pointing down, then you click on the mouse and then it highlights the entire column B. Then you can go to styles and then we look at insert, and then we can say that we want to insert a column. So home page, under the cells, then we can click on insert. And then we can insert a column. Then when we click, a column is automatically inserted between column A and column B. Now will be known as column C. Then we can type student name. Assuming we don't like the student name that we have created, we can select the same column and then go to the same place where we go to home, and under cells, we can also delete the column. So we can see delete sheet column over here. The same thing, you can also right click and then you can see delete, and then you delete it. It's the same way if we want to insert between B and C, we can also right click and then we can click insert to insert a column between. We can also click and delete that column that has been inserted. So that is technically how we can play with the columns that we have. Now turn attention to look at the items I have typed in each of the columns. Now if you look at the columns that I have typed, you will see that the student ID value is full for the column width that we have. But if you look at student name, you will see that all the items that I've typed in the student name are not showing completely. So how do we make it show? When you put your cursor on the border line between B and C, the cursor will tend to be an arrow pointing left and right, meaning it is expandable. So you can hold the mouse and then drag it, and then you can now stretch it to show all the items that are inside. You can also double click on it, and then it will automatically adjust the column width to cover the content or the value of the cell that you have typed. So if you look at program, you realize that all of them are not showing. So you put your cursor on it, double click, and then it will auto adjust to the value or the strength test that length that we have within the cell that you have typed. So that is how you can insert and also delete a column. It is so easy that you can select the entire column, go to the home page, then under cells, you can now insert or delete. You can also right click on it, and then the menu will pop up for you to do a lot of things. We can also as well also be able to hide the column and unhide the column. Assuming I have inherited a lot of sheets, and then I want to see other parts or some information are not too critical for my review. So I can select all of them that I want to hide. Then I can right click and then I can say hide. Then I'll hide the columns that I selected. So between A and E, those columns are hidden. We can put the cursor on it and then double click and then it opens. Or we can select the A to E and then we right click on it and then we go down to the menu that pops up and say unhide, and then the ones that are hidden will also show up for us. So that is how we can hide and unhide columns in the Excel interface. So let's look at the rows as well. So the same way we can insert new rows, we can also insert new columns. We can also insert a new row. So let's color here so that we can see. Assuming I want to put a new row between the row 1 and row 2. You select row 2 and then you can right click on it with your mouse, right click, and then you go insert. Then automatically it will put one row between. You can insert multiples by selecting all of them, and then we have selected 6. So when we right click, it will also insert 6 different rows for us. It's the same as we treat. Also, if I don't want it, I can also select all of them. You can still go to home page, under cells, click, and then you can delete rows as well, and then all of them will be deleted or inserted. So let's go and delete all of them. So we select it from the row here. If you put it on the row number, there will be an arrow pointing right. That means that when you click on it, the whole row will be selected. So once you select it, you scroll it to the level you want to delete, and then you go to home page, and under cells, you can go to delete, and then you can get delete rows, and then automatically you can delete it. So that is how you can insert and then you can delete rows. If I type an item and then it covers like this and I'm not seeing part, and I want to force it to be in one cell, I can go to the home page I can go to the home page and then wrap test. So from there, I can wrap test and all the items will go inside for me. So technically, that is how you can do. So to wrap a test, you go to the home page and under alignment, you see wrap test and it will force the items to be in the same column width that you have for you as well. And then we can undo it as well. So these are how we can also be able to adjust our columns and adjust our rows as well. Now let's look at cells. Yesterday we said that the naming of cell is the column that meets the row. So if I have selected the cell, that means B3, meaning column B meets row 3 at B3. So we have this place called B3. We can also have so many of them, So this will help us to be able to understand how to write functions or formulas in Excel. That any cell that we have is independent. So if I want to enter items in it, then I can quickly be able to select the cell, it becomes active, and then I can start typing whatever I want to type. So we will begin to type some few items in it. Let's uncolor so that we can change it to no fill, and then we'll start. So let's just say that we have a student ID 1000045, and then the student's name is John Doe, and the student is doing mathematics, and then the student fees is 10,000. So you see, I select the cell and type the items inside. I select the cell and type item inside. So we can have another student 1000046, and then the name will be Jane Doe. So you select it. You can use your tab key to move to the next one, and this one is doing English language, and then the fee is also 1,005. And then we type it like this. So that is how we automatically type items in a cell. And so if I want to adjust any of these, each and every item that we have in the cell is independent on its own. And that's how we can sum up. So we can have something like a total fees, and then we can come here and add them together. So it will be our cell 1 plus our cell 2, and then you add them together. So I was just trying to show you how we can type items in a cell. And today we are just looking at how we type items in a cell. Okay. So we have looked at columns and how we can adjust the column width and the column size. Sometimes you can have a sheet and then some other part are not showing and you don't know what to do. You can just put your cursor on it, right click and expand it. So columns, like we all know, are the vertical grid lines, and they are donated by alphabet A, B, C up to infinity. And that's what we did in day 1 to understand. So we look at the letters at the top of each of the columns and then we name them as that. So you think of these columns more like a pillar that can help us to be able to support any, maybe you are building, these are the pillars. It stands as a vertical one. Don't confuse yourself when it comes to columns and rows. The columns are the vertical grid lines, and then the rows are the horizontal lines. Like we saw, we can insert new columns at any point in time, and then we can also insert new rows, delete them as well on all that. So this morning, or for this example too, we have walked through how we can be able to understand, to adjust the column width, adjust the column size, how to stretch it, and then how to also resize it. and all that. We have also learned how to do same to the rows that we have. Okay, so your task for today is very simple and very vital. We want you to go to the day one file, and then you pick the sheet and then type it day two. Name the sheet day two, and then type the student in column A1, type student name in column B2, B1, and then program in C1, and then fees in D1. And then as you type, start typing some records down there. So you type your own number, type your own name, just choose any generic number, type your name, program of your choice, and then put a fee of your choice over there. And when you finish, try to adjust the column width, delete then the student name, and then reinsert the sheet and name it. Just play around it so that you can understand how to adjust the column width and all that. And then when you finish, save that file day two. Save that file day two in your Excel challenge folder that you have opened. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you in day three. Thank you very much.